but always entertaining. They tell Sile, how's everybody doing today? And welcome to show 129 or 130, whichever it is. My show's not been going up on the regular. I got to get on the staff. And let's say before we do every show, I need to thank my Lord and my Savior, Jesus Christ, and thank God for everything He does in my life. Amen. Because we couldn't do it without Him. Having said that, is everybody ready today? I said, is everybody ready today? Well, then let's get to it. Is it me? Because y'all know it could be me. Y'all know how I be tripping sometimes. Is it me, or does it look like the Republicans are running Republicans for Democratic positions, Democratic seats? Huh? Because Charlie Crist was a Republican. Remember, he was a Republican governor. Now all of a sudden he's running as a Democratic governor. We can't get any more people. We got to keep having these retreads. We got to have more leaders out there than the same people. Now, he's been a governor for 2 terms as a Republican. Now he's finna be a governor as a Democrat. See, we need to find out who paying all these people. We need to find out where the money coming from. Because how can you be a Democrat or a Republican and then all of a sudden you have this epiphany or whatever you want to have, whatever you want to call it, and all of a sudden you turn to the opposite party? Are you kidding me? I mean, that's not a good look to me. And you remember I always told everybody, I say, Republicans win when they win, and they even win when they lose. See, they spend millions of dollars in these think tanks coming up with ways to stay in power. And that's why I say we got to overhaul this entire apparatus if we want to be able to continue as a democracy, because our democracy is at stake. And these mega Republicans is the most existential threat to this country because you know they're willing to use violence. They're going to usurp their way to power. And that's not the American way. That's not what America's all about. But the number here today is 386-868-3411. I just think that our democracy is in perils right now. And I think it's depending on everybody to have a voice. Because together, if we all have a voice together, then listen to us. And this is why I constantly tell people all the time that we're all in this together. We're all Americans. We can agree to disagree on policies. Of course we can. But we should never disagree on the safety of the country, and we should never disagree on the health of the people in this country. And that's why I have issues with this government and the way this country is ran, because you never should allow politicians to supersede. Should never allow politicians to supersede that of a scientist when it comes to these health issues that we find ourselves facing year in, year out. We need to listen to the science. We need to listen to the scientists, not these politicians. And I constantly tell people, when it comes to safety of the country and the well-being of the country, we should all agree, because we all Americans and we're all in this together. And I keep telling anybody willing to listen, y'all think it's hyperbole. Listen, we be in them ditches fighting together trying to save this country with all these Republicans and these Democrats who hoarding all this money, who doing all this inside trade. They're gonna be on the first planes out of here. They making decisions for all us, but when it comes down to it, they won't even be here to defend the country with us. They won't even be able to defend. Donald Trump be the first one to try to get on a plane and get up out of here and try to take as much of America's property as he can. It shouldn't even be no argument with a man taking nuclear secrets and classified information. That shouldn't even be no argument, because we all unsafe. And I told y'all that from the time I've been on this show, when he first got elected. I said this country don't even realize how much danger we in. I felt like the door was open. Remember I said I felt like our back door was open? Now you see what I was talking about. He got nuclear secrets from other countries. He got nuclear secrets. He already done sold Saudi Arabia our utility secrets. Our utility nuclear secrets. That's why Jared Kushner going over there collecting $1 billion every time you go over there. You're going to collect $2 billion. What investigation in that? What investigation in the PPEs? Y'all ain't seen it with the tip of the iceberg. I keep telling everybody where to listen. Y'all ain't seen it with the tip of the iceberg. I told y'all that a long time ago. And look what we're seeing. Because I knew we had elected a con man. He was the most surprised person in this country when he got elected. You ever see him when he first got elected? He looked like a deer in headlights. He looked like a deer in headlights. You got to have altruistic people in positions of benevolence. You can't have greedy people greedy people over our money. That's an oxymoron. It's a paradox. And I keep telling you, if you want to trust Donald Trump to babysit your little 16-year-old daughter, why would you want to elect him to be the president and be over our nuclear codes? Are you kidding me? Think about what I just said. We got to get away from the tribalism. Right is right, wrong is wrong. 2 + 2 is 4 all day. Now you got people trying to make 2 + 2 5. It can't be 5. You got to deal on fact-based information. You can't just make up lily-nilly what you wanted to be. 2 + 2 is 4. And if you put 5 down, you're wrong. You got people putting 5 down, argue that you're wrong and they right. And that's what's going on in the country. That's what's going on in this country. We have no leadership. No leadership at all. Now everybody want to applaud Joe Biden. Man, Joe Biden, every issue, every agenda that he has addressed since he's been in office or tried to claim he was dealing with, has been superficial. I don't care about y'all getting mad at me. Joe Biden, everything Joe Biden do, you gonna get 25% of what he's trying to do. Big deal. Big deal. And he tried to do the ceremonial. He just like Trump. He tried to do the ceremonial. I want to be on TV, patting himself on the back like he doing something. He ain't doing nothing. I keep telling y'all, I give y'all this analogy every time we get on this subject. If you let Donald Trump come in your house and tear your house up, and you used to just a person coming in there just doing a little bit of damage, where you can use this person as last, and you can cover that. But then you got these people like Donald Trump coming to office and just take everything, your wiring, your sinks, your outlets, everything in your house. Destroy your house. So you got to put more money into it. So now when Joe Biden trying to go get more money, he's not even getting enough to pay for it. That's my point. But then you want to come and act like, oh, I told you I was going to do that, and I did it. We didn't get as much as we wanted, but I did it. No, you didn't do it. Because that house needed a lot of more work did to it. Just like the country needed a lot of more work did to it. When you come to a president who spent $79 billion, trillion or billion or whatever, he put it this way: he spent more money than any president ever that was in office. Donald Trump. Gave the richest 1% of this country, who didn't need it, by the way. He was making money hand over fist, by the way. Turn right around and get him a tax break. Or the rest of us suffering. And then had the audacity not to even have a way to pay for it. But these Republicans want to holler about fiscal responsibility. And they fiscally conservative. Yeah, they're fiscally conservative when it comes to the people that put the money in getting their own money. They fiscally conservative about not letting us get our own money. Brett Favre, they're getting money that's put in for welfare recipients, getting $2 million worth of volleyball facilities that his daughter was playing for that school, and he had $1 million. He didn't even come to speak. Come on now, wait. But y'all want to talk about the Boston Celtics coach that might have messed around on his girlfriend. You see what I be talking about, ladies and gentlemen? How they tone deaf when they want to be. But it's mighty funny that this man just took Boston to the finals last year. Now they find a way to get him out of there. Just like Flores went 9-1 with the Dolphins at the last half of the season. If anybody shouldn't have got fired last year, it should have been him. But he got fired. Now the Dolphins winning with his team he put together. Same thing with Dungy in Tampa. Anytime I see like a black coach is making headway, they try to take his team from him. Ask Mark Jackson. Steve Kerr got all his titles. I mean, it's obvious. 386, 868, 3411. It's obvious. All you gotta do is open your eyes and look and see. It happens every time. Now you got the Republicans. I keep telling you, when they win. They're trying to win even when they lose. Now they're running these Trump deniers. I mean, these Trump sycophants. These Trump sycophants who deny the election was fair. These election deniers sided with Trump. Nobody talks about when Trump not involved, we have no problem with elections. He knows nobody wants to elect him. You're not gonna make us elect you. You're not gonna force yourself on us. You're not qualified to lead these great people of this country. You're not qualified. And it bear it out over your 4 years. And for the life of me, I know there's a lot of good Republicans that know this man did not do a good job. But so much malfeasance and corruption went on, and they know that if he get back in office, it's another free fall. And so many people had a windfall while this man was in office, and they just chop it to the bits to repeat that whole scenario again, stealing our money, not wanting to give us anything, instead of taking our money. Pompey using our money to have his age, walk his dog, and go get his laundry. These people not royalty. These people work for us. That's our money. That's the people of America money. That's our hard-earned tax dollars. Kidding me? Get back going around acting like they monarchs or something. And they plotting to have Democrats in name only running these elections so they can further keep control. And I also, not to digress, I want to kind of pivot to sports a little bit, because me and a couple of friends over the weekend, we was watching college sports, and I was telling them about the solid doctrine and how these kids should be getting compensated, and they were wondering, and so the discussion came up why Miami and Florida State and Florida will never be the perennial power that they used to be in the 80s. That's what I was telling them. They was talking about, well, Florida State on its way back. Florida State on beating Boston College, big deal. I never see where everybody be having a great fit because Florida State beat Boston College. Florida State supposed to beat Boston College. Are you kidding me? And then I see the news guy on TV. Oh, Florida State 25th. Oh, the 25th or 23rd. Yeah. Man, we ain't never Florida State and Miami and Florida. Well, not really Florida, but Florida State and Miami. They're always in the top 5 every year. For them to be carrying on to be top 25 lets you know we don't fail. We don't fail. And we was talking about the reason why. And once again, I always try to think outside the box, And the reason I was saying, them here today, 386-868-3411, I was saying The reason that Miami, I love the U. That's my team. I love the U. Next to University of Illinois, because that's why I played there. But anyway, I love the U. But there'll never be the U again. Huh? There'll never be the U again. Florida State never be Florida State again. Oh yeah, they might have 1 year where they might have a good team. I'm talking about perennial dominance like they were in the 80s, those teams. And I was telling them the reason that would never be is because in the 80s, you didn't have FIU, you didn't have FAU, and I think South Florida was in its infancy. So those three schools right there that's taking players that normally would go to either Florida, Florida State, or Miami when they were like the only prevalent big schools in the state of Florida. And not to mention that if you look at any Big Ten roster, or you look at any SEC roster, I'm willing to bet you see all those teams littered with Florida players. Ohio State gonna have Florida players. Michigan gonna have Florida players. Illinois gonna have Florida players. Even Georgia gonna have Florida players. Alabama gonna have Florida players. So my point is, Miami, the talent is being divided more now than it was back then. So now you got other places for kids to go. So your roster's not gonna be as strong as it used to be. And you're not gonna get maybe 3 or 4 first rounders on your team like you used to. They're probably spread out and go different places. And that's why football is, to me, football in Florida is better than football in California and Texas. They're bigger states, but I think pound for pound, our players are the best. Our football players are the best. That's just my take. But if we kept our players at home, we could drastically improve our teams. So there needs to be a concerted effort among these coaches and these recruiters to try to keep these kids, close to Florida, and that'll make the teams a lot better. But you never get these dominant teams no more in Florida because you get too much talent and there's too many teams. I mean, you got Miami and FIU in Miami, Florida International. Then you got right there in Boca Raton, you got Florida Atlantic University. And then you always got your Cookman and your FAMU who gonna get some players that probably could have went Division I. So it's a lot of dividing of players. So therefore, you won't have a whole congregation of really good players like back in the 80s when Florida State and Miami was dominating everything. Those days will never come back because you got more schools now and you got players going all over the country. That's just my opinion. I mean, that's my take on that. I think the players are just as good. I just think I don't think they're as polished as players back in the 80s. I don't think they're as polished back in the 80s. I think now it's more ran like everybody for themselves. Back in the 80s, it was more like a team. Those guys, even though it was first rounders, they all play like a team. To me now, with transfer portal and everything, it's just everything about self-aggrandize. I mean, that's my take on it anyway. But once again, the number today 386-868-3411. Also, I want to say this: outside the round table, we welcome all points of view. I'm going to say that one more time. We welcome all points of view. I'm not trying to get nobody to agree with me because I think the more views, the better. I say this every week because here outside the round table, we stimulate conversation while assimilating information in an effort to find the solutions to the problems that affect us each and every day. And that's what I stand on. Okay, I'm just giving food for thought based on fact-based information, though. See what people, you can have your opinion and I can have my opinion, but it's hard to go against fact-based information though. That's all I'm saying. You know, we can have different opinion, but we can't have different facts. Facts is facts. Make sense? I just think we should do our homework sometime. You know, I try to deal with fact-based information, and if people do their homework, a lot of times they'll understand where I'm coming from. And I want to say this too. I'm going to say it for 90 times, or 100 times, whatever you want to say. I want people to vote. I want people to vote. I never said I didn't want nobody to vote. Stop saying that. I didn't say that. I said I want people to vote. What I said was the Secretary of State in Arizona has been given the power to overturn the will of the people. And I just think that was a bad precedent. And I think that everybody should have been outraged, because all I said was this, simply this. If he can overturn the will of the people and he put there simply to do that, what's the use of voting? If you know a man sitting there that's been appointed and given that position because they know we're gonna outvote them. So they're putting them there just for that. So no matter how many votes, my point was, if we win by 9 million votes, 9 barely winning. 8, 9 million votes. Hillary beat them by 7, 8 million votes and still lost. And still lost. And I guess my point was, what game you know that you can win by 8 or 9 million points and still lose? Huh? That's all I want you to think. That's why I try to give these analogies. Just think about what I'm saying. Why is it that we constantly outvoting the Republicans 8, 9 million votes and we still losing? Seems to me the apparatus needs to be changed. Seems to me the apparatus that was put in place to keep those in power is working. That's why they put it in place, to keep them in power. So the only way we're going to be able to take away that power is to take away the ability for them to be able to willy-nilly change the will of the people. Are you kidding me? It's America. What is going on here? I feel like I'm in a twilight zone. Also, we talked about, we all over the place. We just want to cover a lot of things today because everybody trying to get ready for the storm. Everybody need to be safe. If you feel you ain't safe, go to a shelter. You know, you got mainland and you got Atlantic. We got Atlantic for special needs, right? And then you got mainland for the public. So, but also I talked to Ms. Marie at Everybody Food Supply that's coming to South Daytona at 2271 South Ridgewood. It'll be in the South Daytona Plaza. It should be opening to the public in November. So we're very excited about that. They got the top restaurant, quality meats and seafood, as well as an array of frozen desserts. And that's Everybody's Food Supply. It's a new and exciting way to shop, because I think they focus on just like steaks and chicken and ribs and most of your meats and your seafood. And they got the salmon bites, and they got the mahi bites, and all kinds of different things that you really can't buy at a store, at a box store. It's really nice to see a change in things that you can eat that's really good. It's not available around. That what makes Everybody Food Supply such a great store. It's going to be a great store because it's going to serve a lot of things that you can't normally go and get around. Like frog legs, and they're going to have frog legs. They're going to have quail. You know, they're going to have live blue crabs. So they're going to have a lot of things that we can't normally find around here for the people around here. We feel like they feel like South Daytona deserved a different type of store, different type of shopping experience, and I think that store gonna do real good. So you guys go check them out here. It's gonna be Everybody Food Supply The grand opening to be sometime in November, but you got to check them out. It's top restaurant quality meats, totally different from the Winn-Dixie Publix type meats. You gotta taste these meats. You gotta taste this food to see. We just trying to give people quality where you can eat like you're eating at a 5-star restaurant right at home. And that's what everybody's food supply bar is about. You eating like you're eating at a 5-star restaurant right at your dining room table. So you can't really beat that. So you guys really need to come out and support Everybody Food Supply when they open up. Because Everybody Food Supply will be your #1 location for all things meat and seafood as well as desserts. And that's EFS, the new way to shop. Number there is 386-333-0913, located 2271 South Ridgewood. So for VIP orders, go to 386-333-0913 or simply go to our state-of-the-art website that's designed to make sure that it's user-friendly for our customers. Okay? So that's EFS, the new way to shop. And they're going to be selling those live meaty blue crabs. They're supposed to have a supply that's like one of the best blue crab suppliers in Florida. So their crabs supposed to be real meaty. Nothing like getting those crabs with no meat in them. These crabs are supposed to be real meaty, so I'm looking forward to that. But I just think that what's going on today, everybody needs to pay attention and take heed of what's going on, because it's a lot of malfeasance still continuing to this day. And for some reason, it seems like it's 2 tiers of justice in this country. And I just think we got issues while these Republicans playing games, trying to ban books. I thought this was America, free speech. Banning books. That's communist. That's radical. See, everything the Republicans say that we, the Democrats, are doing, they're doing. You got Donald Trump openly out here espousing violence, man. You got him openly embracing QAnon. Where's the humanity? Where's the love for our fellow citizens? Real leaders, I keep telling y'all this all the time. You know how you tell a leader from a chump? Anybody? You know how you tell a leader from a chump? A leader brings people together. A chump try to divide people. Huh? I want to ask my audience and my Trump supporter, my mega supporters, one question today. When have you ever seen this man talk about some policy? When you ever seen this man talk about doing something to help the country? When have you? During the pandemic, when millions of people died needlessly, he was playing golf. You weren't even worried about it. He told you to go shoot bleach in your arms. See, I can't make this up. I can't make this up. It's the truth. He said, go shoot bleach in your arm. Then, you know, another thing perturbs me. A real leader don't need taken up for. I'm just getting the qualities of a leader, letting you know, America, the greatest country in the world, with the greatest people in the country, and the greatest people in the world, and the greatest country in the world. We got more people that can lead us and do right by the people. We don't have to put up with this. With 330-something million people, about one man who's been a con man all his life. Are we honestly going to do this? Are we honestly going to let this man continually break the law, continually try to cast aspersions on a government that he want to be part of, that he chopping at the bit to be a part of, that he want to run? But if he ain't running it, did everything garbage. The FBI, everybody after him. The FBI, that's his FBI. See, people need to know facts. When you holler about the FBI, that's the FBI that he put in office. That's the FBI he appointed. The judge, that's the judge he appointed to the bench. They agreed to let the judge be his master. That's who Donald Trump wanted to be the master over his documents. My point is everybody can't be against you, even when you put your people in place and they say no, then you turn against them. You have no loyalty for nobody else, but you want everybody to have this unwavering loyalty towards you. Even when you're wrong. And that's a dangerous president. President. Not president. 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 Because we ain't never had no president that openly, listen to me, that openly despise our country as much as this president that we had. Donald Trump. He said he wanted to make America great again, but actually he wanted to make America poor, hungry, sick, discombobulated. And that's what he did. So how's he make America great again? How's he make America great again when you got lines at food banks for miles under your administration? When the top wealthiest people in this country was making money hand over fist, stock market stayed off the chain. You wouldn't even let the Feds raise the rates. We wouldn't even have to worry about inflation right now if he didn't let the Feds raise the rates a little bit when he was in office. And then you got the supply chain. Supply chain, all this is artificially made up. You got Abbott stopping all the trucks after they clear inspection. Now you're gonna stop them again just to slow everything up to make this president. See, they were telling everything about political points with these people. They're not worried about how it's going to affect you or I. I don't even think they even think about that in the equation. And that's really dangerous. And that's really concerning. These people making decisions without even thinking about us at all. And that's why I've always said we need to, and I've been saying we need to revisit Citizens United. We need to get this dog money out of Washington. Because what you got now, you got lobbyists. These politicians becoming beholden to these lobbyists. They put this money in their pocket and not beholden to the people that actually elect them. And until people start paying attention, so they count on them not paying attention. And until we start paying attention, it's going to get worse. So we start speaking out, it's going to get worse. And I'm going to tell you something else, my native white brothers and sisters. If we don't get together and get police reform, you see they'll start doing the same thing to y'all. Because I tell you constantly, if you don't stand up for what's right, when you see it being inflicted on somebody else, they're going to eventually be coming for you. You can rest assured they're going to eventually be coming for you. That's why we have to stand up when we see wrong, no matter who is affected. I ain't got no, what that tribalism. Only tribe I'm part of is America. That's the tribe I'm part of, America. And America consists of black, white, and everybody. That's the tribe I'm in. Tribe of USA. But you can't holler about USA when you sitting there letting somebody else break the law and you know they're breaking the law because you're making that person like he's better than you. And you shouldn't feel nobody better than you and you shouldn't feel like you're better than nobody else. We want the laws to apply to everybody. Not the poor and the rich get a pass. And I just think that teachers, see, I just think we got everything twisted wrong. Teachers, police officers, you got to get the best of the best, and you got to pay them. Police officers should have at least a degree, college degree. Shouldn't be able to come right out of high school and be able to put a gun on your hip and be and have my life in your hands. Huh? You shouldn't be able to come right out of high school. You just graduated in June. Now you want a gun and you got my life in your hands. You shouldn't be able to have that kind of power at that age. In order to carry a badge and a gun, you should be going over psychological. You should, went through psychological evaluations, have a college degree, things of that nature. And then you pay them good. But police officers got to get back to being police officers to protect and serve, not speak to everybody like they're a criminal. They talk to everybody like they're criminal. That's the only thing that stand out to me now. But the police officers, they talk to everybody like everybody's a criminal or everybody is against them. It's like a democracy. We almost feel like we're in a police state. They got cameras up all over the place now. They got cameras all down Ridgewood now. They want to watch everything you do, know everything you do, see everything you do. They want to make you carry a rapist child in America in 2022. Are you kidding me? We're going backwards instead of going forward. All these people that are trying to take us backwards, we need to get rid of them. Marjorie Greene talked so much trash, and then the time they were trying to tell her about they might trying to get her out of Congress. Oh, she had a fit. She cried like a little old baby. See, these people cowards. They ain't no true leaders. Cause soon as you see them under a little stress, you see how they react. And you got videotape of Donald Trump saying, if you ain't lying, why you need to take the fifth? But he took it 400 times. See, you can't make this up. You can't make this up. He took the fifth over 400 times. I mean, he ain't answered nothing. He just got done. Fifth. I take fifth. I fifth. That's what he did. This is the president of the United States. So is this what you want your child to emulate coming up? President of the United States supposed to be one of the most moral persons that we can find. That's why he over 330-something million people. I keep telling y'all, God saved us. That first time. God help us this next time. I keep telling y'all that. But I want to know about Donald Trump and all these charges that's coming up in the IRS, the $79 million. They ain't even talking about that no more. I ain't seen his tax release yet. We still ain't seen his tax release. I feel this man got something on a lot of people, important places, and they know he gonna tell. That's why they don't want to say nothing. Because, ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump don't expose all of them. They all got the grift going on. They all got the grift going on. And that's why they let this man get away with what he get away with, because they're scared to say anything to him, because they know he'll expose them all. But we need to take a break. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back. Okay, we back. But anyway, yeah, I was thinking, I was just talking to some friends of mine the other night, and we was talking about a lot of these issues, and it seems to me people can't understand, and let me hear it again, 386-868-3411. I was talking to some friends of mine, and I'm trying to explain to them that, yeah, we need to vote. But can somebody tell me how many votes we got to win by? Because what about the 9 million people or the 8 million people that vote? And we still lose. We win by 8. Hillary won by 8 million votes, and we still lost. So that lets you know there needs to be some kind of overhaul of this voting apparatus. You need to be an overhaul of the voting apparatus. You shouldn't have to. They already listen. They make us jump through loops. They put us in jail if we get somebody water. And that's another issue I was telling Mr. Scott about. He was like, okay, but we can't do it. We can do anything if they can make a law. If they can get a law that said that you can go to jail for getting somebody a bottle of water, then you sure can make a law about the voting apparatus. That we need to overturn this voting apparatus. If they can make a law like that, you can do what you want to do. So they want you to think what you can't do. But all you do, you put pressure on the politicians that's there. You don't have to have a write-in campaign. You tell the politicians that's in office what you expect. And if they agree with you, then you back that candidate. Somebody come and agree with you. And those are candidates you need to back. I just think the way we're doing business nowadays with the people are the bosses of these people. But you let this money percolate all through Washington, and these people ain't got our best interest at heart. I'm just telling everybody, these people don't have our best interest at heart. They make $30-some hundred a week, and they be in session 2 or 3 days out the week. And then they run to go home. As soon as it's almost time to men break, they're breaking their neck to go home. They ain't trying to do nothing for the people. They're just collecting our money. And then when it's time to go home, they run to the airport to go home. But we got major issues going on in this country. Not only does there need to be an overhaul of this voting apparatus, there needs to be an overhaul of candidates. I'm tired of these corrupt politicians. 2-term limit. 2-term limit. All this 30 and 40 years in Congress, are you kidding me? We need to be putting altruistic people back in office. Because right now we have people that don't really care nothing about you or I. And that's a shame. Because in 2022, we got a lot of issues that we need to be dealing with. One of my callers called me before the show this morning. She wanted everybody to try to get a write-in campaign for the government. I said, we don't like how they doing. And you can get a write-in campaign or a call-in campaign. But people the whole problem is that we don't get together and organize. That we won't stand for nothing. I'm talking about the native blacks right now. You form a $2 trillion consumer block, but you spend it all willy-nilly. So it ain't organized. That money don't mean nothing because it ain't organized. It's all over the place. If that money was organized, it'll mean a lot. You have a lot of power because you got a lot of political power when you got money. When you spend money like that, as far as a consumer block, $2 billion a year, and you only make up 16% of the population, that's power. But in order for that power to be effective, you have to have that power congregated together. Can't be all over the place. See, you got to make a concerted effort to spend money with yourselves, because our money don't ricochet one time in our neighborhoods. That's a shame. How can anybody survive? How can anybody survive with everything going out? And that's what we need to think about when we're out here spending our money with all these companies that's putting money in Republican parties, that's backing all these bills and saying no to everything that will make your life simpler or more enjoyable. You vote against your own, you spending money against your own best interests. You don't even know it, don't even realize. That's why we had to become astute. Because they count on us to be an apathetic community. And we should really be a community that's really on top of all the issues, because most of all of them affecting us, and we're not paying attention. And that's why it's important for everybody to get engaged with shows like this and shows like this on the air, on the station, other shows just like this one. You gotta support all these shows that come out and try to give you a different point of view than the regular old con job that mainstream media give you. They just tell you to do the talking points of a big corporation. They will not tell you, they're not gonna really tell you what's going on, because they are a big corporation. So I just think we just need to be getting engaged, get your kids engaged. Keep telling everybody who's sending your kid out there and you ain't letting your kid, you're not preparing your kid, is your fault. If you letting your kid, if you ain't preparing your kid to go out here in this world, knowing what you know, you ought to be shaming yourself. Some of y'all ain't telling y'all kids, because I can tell how they act in these streets. You're doing your kid a disservice when you don't let him know what he gonna face once he leave out your door. Our kids gotta stop thinking these new black kids think they white kids. But you will have a rude awakening once you get out there in these streets. You have to be more serious about your lives. That's why I'm trying to talk to every kid I can talk to. I'm trying to save as many kids as I can. I'll go speak to any group. I got kids to save. I got a story to tell. But it takes everybody getting involved. It takes putting the remote down sometime and getting involved. It requires sometimes, instead of going to get that 6-pack of beer, send a $10 donation in to one of your local shows on 106.3 FM. Show the people you appreciate them, because they're spending their money to come on the air to keep everybody informed. That's a public service. Public service that's coming out of their pockets. It's coming out of our pockets. So people come on the air to try to help people. So we're all in this together. Everybody got a part to play. People should be calling in, letting us know the pulse of the community, what's going on in the community, what the community is feeling about, what's going on. We need to have people calling in every day, discussing issues that are going on in this community every day, every Tuesday. We got to get engaged, ladies and gentlemen. We just can't sit around and expect people to do right by us if they feel we ain't paying attention. Only way people gonna do right by you, you gotta be right in their ear and right in their face. If you ain't around and you ain't saying nothing, you already know what time it is. The squeaky wheel get the oil. Squeaky wheel get the oil. We just gotta. It's sad. We just gotta come together, man. I mean, as a country, we gotta come together. It's just sad what I'm seeing in this country right now. It's sad. It's a shame. I never thought I'd be seeing country in 2022 in this bad of shape. We're in bad shape. I just seen a video of a police officer had a woman cuffed in the backseat of her car, and the train was coming. He wouldn't even get that woman out that car. He got out the car and left her in the car. Where the humanity of it all? That's why I'm saying we cannot just be hiring anybody to be police officers. That's the problem. You got 30, 40% of them guys don't need to be police. If you're scary, you sure shouldn't be no police. If you're scary, you sure shouldn't be no police. And I say that because if I'm running and you shoot me in the back, how scared you got to be shooting me in the back when I'm running away from you? How scary do you have to be to shoot me in the back when I'm running away from you? How scared do you got to be to shoot me in a wheelchair, going back in the store, shoot me 9 times dead, and I'm in a wheelchair? How scared you got to be? What I see police officers harassing black people and bullying black people when it's time for them to do their job. They don't want to engage with them people. That's what I see. They don't even want to engage with them people. When it's time to engage, they don't want to engage. And I'm saying we need to get back to having real police officers. Not somebody who on a power trip. They want to be a police because they got beat up in school all the time. So now they want to go and inflict punishment and pain on everybody they can. Now that they got it under the guise of a badge. Police acting like they were when they were first intended for, to keep black people in check. I just think, ladies and gentlemen, we just need to come together and we all got to sit down, come to the table, and say enough is enough. Because what's going on right now is dangerous. Because I feel like black men pray. I feel like we're an endangered species. They're locked up, most of us. They only gonna get jobs with a major network to somebody who come across as docile. A black man who come across as docile, he might be able to get a job, but most of the time they're gonna get a gay black man. They don't want no full-blooded black man on TV. He gotta be some kind. He gotta either be gay or just a real passive. He can't have no strong opinion. He can't talk loud. Can't do none of that. Can't do none of that. That's the only way you're gonna be able to make it in mainstream. That's why you gotta start owning your own. Start owning your own. Spin with yourselves. That's what we need to do. We need to have a movement to spin with ourselves. Love yourself. Stop breaking your neck trying to make somebody feel a certain way about it. They're going to feel how they're going to feel anyway. All you do is you do God's work. You do right by God. You don't do right by no man. You do right by God. You don't do right by no man. We got people risking their lives and putting themselves in prison. And I'm gonna say this again: Trump supporters are Americans, and I don't like nobody to run no grip or no con on my fellow Americans. I don't care if they are Trump fans. They're still my fellow Americans. They might feel different about me, but I don't feel different about them. That's on them. God told me to love everybody. I love everybody. I just love a tough love. But we gotta come together as a nation. And we gotta start voting for people who are gonna unite us, not divide us. The devil is a liar. The devil is a liar. I know it's great people in this country that can bring us together. And they need to start stepping up. She ain't like all the cooks got all the oxygen in the room. Cooks got the floor. We need to get these cooks out of here, man. And let's get back to being America. Land of the brave and the free. Not these undercover Putin assets. Because that's what they are. All of them working to undermine this country. Because let me ask you one thing, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to make America great again and you vote no to fix the streets and the highways and the bridges and all that, but you vote no, but you say you want to make America great again, but you vote no for anything that could remotely help this country or the people of this country, you tell me what you are. You tell me what you are. Because if you love the country, why wouldn't you want to fix the roads and the bridges? That's a no-brainer. Stop thinking we sheep. We ain't no sheep. And what we need to do is come together, Democrats and Republicans, and purge ourselves of all these cancerous candidates that we got around here. You know, a United States Senator used to be something. But when you let somebody like Herschel Walker get a Senate seat, it waters down the prestige of being a U.S. Senator. Being a U.S. Senator used to mean something. Now they just got people that put them in office that lie, tell lies that can easily be proven. Come on, we better than this as a country now. We need to rid ourselves of this cancer. We better than this as a country. This division is the most existential threat we got going on right now, this division. So if you missed the show, hopefully we'll be on YouTube and Facebook. We'll be up this week. Don't forget EFS coming to town, South Daytona, 2271 South Ridgewood. You talking about some meat that you can tell the difference? I guarantee you won't eat at none of these box stores no more. I guarantee you. So listen, I want to thank everybody for joining me today. It was a kind of solemn day. Everybody need to be safe. Get out, get out the elements. You need to go to a shelter, and just be safe. And I'll see you guys next Tuesday. So now listen, I want everybody to make a conscious effort to try to help one of these shows this weekend. Try to put $10 in the GoFundMe account for one of these shows. Just do that for us. Just show us that you're listening, all right? So now until next Tuesday at noon, it's HL Side. I'm out. I love everybody. But I'm out.